Hey everybody, and welcome to the 5th episode of the Speaking Nation Project. Today we'll be discussing the Russian-Ukrainian conflict, and in particular, Crimea. To my left, a Ukrainian national, Onyshchenko, and to my right, a Russian national, Maksim Lesginov, and they'll be here to discuss and directly engage with each other about the subject. Enjoy! So, Daniel, what is the Ukrainian claim to Crimea, and what arguments do you have to fuel that belief?
Okay, Ukrainians believe that Crimea territory is a part of Ukraine because of a couple of reasons. First, if you take a look at the history, since 1945, Nikita Khrushchev, the leader of Soviet Union, signed a document where he stated that the Crimea territory is a part of Ukraine. Second reason, when Ukraine received and took this territory, the land of Crimea was empty. Ukrainians can say that we built this territory, we provided the territory with electricity, we provided the territory with all water resources, we organized very good opportunities for tourism. So yeah, we can say that Crimea is Ukrainian territory because we have legitimate improvement, and second of all because we built this territory. And from Russian side, Russian government said that the Crimea is Russian territory because there are a lot of people who live there. And okay, they did the elections in 2014, where majority of Crimea voted that they want to be a part of Russia, which for Ukrainians is not proved because the elections were made by Russian side, and Ukrainians don't see any evidence of legitimacy of these elections.
And Max, the Russian perspective?
That's good that Daniel mentioned the fact that in 1954 the Crimean Peninsula was passed to the Ukrainian part of the Soviet Union, and I want to emphasize on the fact that before that we were in the Union, and it was beneficial for the Russian side to give the Ukraine a first part due to its geographical proximity to the Ukrainian mainland, the economical structure of the peninsula, which also involves tourism and everything. I think that the argument that there was no water and electricity is not very evident, because I'm pretty sure that there was some sort of infrastructure, but maybe it wasn't that well established. And the main argument is that now we are not in the Union, and there are several disputes between our countries. And from the Russian side, there was conducted a referendum with the Ukrainian people from Ukraine, and around 97% of the people voted that the Crimean Peninsula should remain as a part of Russia. So that's my main argument.
Maksim, how has this conflict affected Russia as a whole, and where does this conflict fit in the bigger pictures of the country's relations?
I think from the perspective of international relationship, they obviously have worsened because the imposition of different sanctions from the Western side and the European side has adversely affected the economy of my country. Bolstered inflation, more expensive imports, they are all contributed to worsen our economy. And as I already mentioned, the international relationship between my country and other countries from European Union and West in particular. In the bigger picture, I can personally, and the media that I read, only see the perspective of the imposition of even bigger sanctions. So I'm not sure if the picture is going to get any better, but maybe we can benefit from the profits made from the tourism industry in Crimea, which is a kind of a big industry. From the good side, I can say that we have improved the quality of our domestic products and their price.
And Daniel, what about the Ukrainian view?
For Ukrainians, economical side, of course it influenced a lot. We lost a lot of benefits this summer, but it's only on summers when the touristic season is open. About international relations, I can say that Russia and Ukraine, due to historical reasons, they consider each other like a brothers nations, and now because of conflict and mass media influence from both sides, it's attitude totally opposite. Two nations argue between each other, and they make this conflict even more and more.
Daniel, how has the Ukrainian opinion of Russia changed since the beginning of the conflict, and how has mainstream public opinion shifted?
The Ukrainian opinion has changed a lot because of conflicts that we have now in the east of Ukraine. Ukrainian society consider Russians as enemies. There is no friendship relations anymore. People don't want to have any relations in any point, in education, in any point with Russia. Now we have visas regime. Before our conflict, we could free travel to each other countries. Now we have this visas regime. Russian channels are prohibited in Ukraine because there are a lot of false information there, and I can say that, especially because of mass media, the mass media makes these conflicts even worse.
And Maxim, what about the Russian?
Yeah, I would like to elaborate the point made already by Daniel and state that mass media's influence is just insane. I think the conflict has been exaggerated to an unbelievable extent because literally we are two nations which used to remain in sort of a brotherhood, and now because of the different information from different sources, because of the bias, the opinion of the people upon the other country, upon the other perspective, got worsened so much, and people are just cursing on each other on forums. And I saw some Ukrainians saying that Russian seems like Nazis Germany, or Russians saying like, no, you know, Ukraine just wants to get the European Union and don't care about anything but themselves. And that's really sad. My personal opinion about the Ukraine didn't really change a lot. I mean, I still want to consider the person itself and his thoughts, his environment. So I'm trying to avoid any sources, you know, sources of just Russian sources or just Ukrainian sources, because I think there's a certain degree of bias. But I would like to say that the mainstream opinion about Ukraine worsened a lot.
Max, what measures could Russia undertake to possibly restore ties with Ukraine, and how would these changes be implemented?
I honestly think that in short run the problem cannot be solved due to the cultural disputes that we now have due to the influence of the mass media, because right now simply there is an alienated opinion that Ukrainians are bad from the Russian side or Russians are bad from the Ukrainian side. And for now, I don't know, maybe on a political level there should be some sort of a convention between Russian delegates and Ukrainian delegates, just two sides together, writing down their demands, writing down their wants and needs and what they don't like about the decisions of the other country, and then maybe integration of markets, like something bigger is possible after we solve the issues of cultural disputes, let's say. So yeah, I guess that's the first step.
And how would Ukrainians see this, Daniel?
I can say that Ukrainian government doesn't have any plans to restore ties with Russia, and I think that nearest 5 years we will not have any plans because Ukrainian government are afraid of behavior of Russian government. But from my point of view, I can say that people from both sides should keep calm and should take to consideration that only cooperation between two countries can make a benefit, cooperation and not war. Both countries lost a lot of families and a lot of profit, a lot of houses, a lot of military in this war, and I think we should stop it.
Thank you, Daniel, for sharing with us your perspective here today, and the very same to you, Maksim. So this is just another example of the more complex conflicts we have in today's world, the Russian-Ukrainian conflict, with both staking a claim to territory and both saying how significant mass media is in the conflict. So if you enjoyed this, stop for a moment. Like us, share us on YouTube and Facebook, and stay tuned for the next episode. See you soon.